YouTube, man. We back at it with another one. We are back with a reaction video. Now, for some of y'all who do know, it's been a little minute since I dropped a reaction video. It's probably been maybe a year. However, one of the fans hit me up, man, and they did actually request this video that I react to this video, man. And honestly, just telling by the title, this video might be sick. You know what I mean? It sounds like a pretty sick video, but I'm gonna bring y'all the reaction, man, just to, you know, spread awareness and just to see what it's about. You know what I mean? Obviously, y'all recommended me this video for a reason, so I'm gonna hop into it. I'm gonna look at it, man. Hopefully, it's not too sick, but just judging off the title, it's seeming like one of those type of videos. Now, we aren't gonna judge a book by its cover, so like I said, I'm gonna hop into it. I'm gonna give y'all my reaction, and we're gonna see what it's talking about. And shit, I just hope it ain't as bad as I'm thinking, man. But shit, without further ado, man, let's get into the video. I don't want to keep y'all waiting. You know, I don't want to waste y'all time. Not shit show, don't want to waste mine. So let's hop in.
Big development in the case of the teacher who used AI to create sexually explicit content of his teenage students.
What? The teacher did what? Hold on. We just started the video. Hold on, man. We just started this video. The teacher did what?
Big development in the case of the teacher who used AI to create sexually explicit content of his teenage students.
Bro, this is a teacher. Like, this is somebody that, like, bro, I'm so confused on how this is even, like, what? Like, bro, people drop their kids off at school to be taught. Not this weird ass shit, bro. Like, imagine you just going to school every day and you find out that there is some type of AI videos of you doing some sexually explicit and you're a minor at that. Like, this dude is, oh man, he's sick, bro. This ain't it.
He just made a decision that has changed the trajectory.
To be fair, he do kind of look like one of those, though. Y'all know what I mean? He got that look, but bro, this is sick. And wait, is he taking a picture with a student? Is that a student? Wait, what did they just say? Did they just say that's a student or his mom, his family?
Students. He just made a decision that has changed the trajectory of.
Bro, they look like a student, or am I tripping? Y'all let me know down below if that's his wife or a student, bro. Because if that's a student, how didn't the staff, or, you know what I mean, like the staff board members not see this and, like, get him out of there earlier? Like, that's weird to me.
This whole story. We're going to go through this case piece by piece and what this decision means.
This is crazy.
Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
This is sick, bro. This is sick.
Okay, so before we jump into all this, can you believe that the holidays are here? It's like, weren't we just in summer? Anyway, if you're thinking about gifts, I gotta tell you about Cozy Earth. I wore these the other night.
We're gonna skip this. This is an ad. I'm skipping this
for a bit. You might remember a shocking case out of Corinth, Mississippi. This is where a middle school teacher was accused of using artificial intelligence.
Bro, I thought this was at least high school, bro. This is middle schoolers. 12, 13-year-olds. Some of these kids ain't even teenagers, bro. And they been exposed to something like this. You gotta watch who you leaving your kids with, bro. For real. You really gotta watch who you leaving your kids. And look at how many adult females he's standing by. You tell me all these adult females that you walking past every single day, but you want to look at a kid, bro? Y'all, man, it'd be sick, man.
To create explicit videos.
All them female teachers.
Right? Shocking, but I mean, this is the new potential reality we live in. Well, here's the thing. We got a major update. That teacher, Wilson Jones, has just made a shocking decision.
Bro, he really do look like one of those, though. You can kind of tell he look like he do some shit like this. Like, I'm not surprised. Just off his look, I think he did it, to be honest. Do y'all think he did it based off how he looked? He looked like he could have did this shit, bro. Real talk. He honestly looked like a character from Disney. I can't think of it. I think it's one of the dudes from Toy Story, Or it's some movie out there where it's like some dude who being a mascot. I think it is Toy Story. It's like a chicken mascot or something like that. He looked exactly like him, even though that's kind of like on the whole. But it's still just like, yo, he kind of got that look though. You know what I'm saying? And look, they say proud to be a teacher. You gotta watch out for these teachers nowadays, bro. They be sick. They be getting the job to be around kids. I feel like that's the whole motive of them being a teacher. It's not to teach. It's so they can be around kids, bro. Watch out.
And that will change the course of this case forever. Jones was scheduled to go to court up against some
Look at these pictures.
Charges that he possessed and produced child pornography, that he used his school-issued laptop to essentially
producing child pornography on your school-issued laptop, bro. Like, we haven't even gotten 5 minutes into the video and it's this bad. Oh my God.
create obscene visual depictions of minors, specifically AI-generated explicit material that featured the faces of his own students. This is a case, not surprisingly, that sparked outrage, especially when it was revealed that the school superintendent allegedly knew about this and let Jones just quietly resign.
You see what I'm saying? I said that at the beginning of the video. Was that a picture with a student? And if so, how the hell is he still having his job? Turns out the superintendent knew about it and they played along with this shit, bro. Watch out, bro. Protect y'all kids, man. And if you a kid watching this video, make sure you protect yourself. Tell these adults tell some trustworthy adults what's going on, man, for real. Because y'all not being protected nowadays by these weirdo teachers. Like, just to be honest, like it's almost like every month it's some other teacher that get arrested for doing something with a kid, bro. Like back in my days, that wasn't as common. Like, yeah, you had the weirdo teachers, but I feel like they wasn't really even like, I don't know, they wasn't getting arrested to this point. But now it's like it's almost every month, like it's something. Like, it's weird, though. It is very strange, man. Protect y'all kids, man, for sure. Protect your kids out there.
Instead of immediately reporting him to authorities. He has been indicted, too, by the way.
Good,
so what was the decision with respect to Jones? What are we talking about? Well, to understand just how significant this is, you need the full story of how this all came to light.
Yeah.
This is a case that involves a school monitoring system, specific AI prompts, and a months-long gap before law enforcement ever got involved. Here's what happened. This all started back on November 19, 2024. And
he got away with this shit for a full month before law enforcement got involved? That's so sick, bro.
Mississippi's Corinth Middle School. According to the complaint in this case, at 1:17 in the afternoon, a monitoring system called the BARK app, which scans the school district's network for illicit content, sent out a, quote, severe alert. And this was tagged as sexual, and it was coming from teacher Wilson Jones' school-issued computer. So the principal here, Chris Killow, got a text about it. He looked into it, contacted the district's tech director, who was able to pull 3 videos directly from Jones' computer. And the tech director found out that Jones had apparently sent this content to his personal Google Drive, which is what triggered the alert in the first place. These videos
so he can watch it at home.
Showed what were described as known Corinth students engaging in inappropriate behavior, including kissing and exposing.
Bro, why is he doing shit like that? And he's literally around all these female teachers. What the fuck? Why go after children, bro, when you're around able, full body, mentally, you know what I'm saying, mentally strong women, able adults around your age, people you have stuff in common with, bro? Why do this to a child, man? Don't no child deserve to go through some shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is really sick, man. Honestly. I don't know what to say. They keep showing him around all these other teachers. Nigga, you ain't want to fuck on one of the teachers. Like, you chose the children, bro. Why not choose adults that you have something in common with? There's nothing you have in common with these children, man. Literally nothing. There's nothing you can say. Y'all are mentally thinking about different shit. Nothing that you can literally have in common with these children, bro. So why even do it? Why not go for an adult who you actually share something in common with? Y'all thinking about the same things. Y'all have the same responsibilities, same priorities. Like, what am I missing here? You know what I'm saying? What am I missing? Somebody please riddle me that. What am I missing?
Themselves, but none of this was real. Because here's a key. The website used to create these images was right there in the file name at the bottom of the images. It was an AI site called Hiluo.ai. Now, the very next morning, what happens? The principal and the vice principal, they meet.
Every picture I see of him, but he looked like just weird. Like he looked like a predator. I hate to say it, he looked like a predator. Like he looked like somebody to do some weird shit like this. Like, look at him. Does he not look like you can get some creep vibes from this man somehow? It look like he liable to do some creepy ass shit, man. I'm surprised they wasn't more like, it wasn't red flag sooner. Like, he kind of gives those vibes just off his look, if you ask me.
With Jones.
Shit's sick,
They had already
though.
taken his laptop. And right there in that meeting, Jones admitted it. He said he created videos using AI, though he claimed they, quote, weren't sexual.
He admitted this shit?
His website said he got the original images from social media. He even acknowledged that one of the people in the images was a local student. But here's the thing.
Bruh, keep your kids off these social media apps, bro. For real. If this video don't tell you or alert you or like kind of let you know, like, yeah, I don't need it. My child don't need to be posting on social media, and I don't need to be posting my child, because you never really know who's out here looking at these pictures, bro. Who's out here really looking at your profile. And if you got straight kids and you don't know what type of person, like, everybody not mentally on the same page when it comes to protecting kids. So you got to really go out your way and protect your child. You don't know who's looking at these photos and what they're doing. What is their mindset when looking at these photos? You know what I'm saying? He just admitted that he got this shit off of social media. You know what I mean? So make sure you're protecting your children, bro. For real.
Technology. Investigators would later find the exact keystrokes he typed into that AI system. The prompts were detailed and they were very explicit, describing quote, 2 girls posing in each other's arms stop to kiss, instructing the AI to have them, quote, roll up their baggy dresses to reveal each other's picture-perfect bodies.
What the fuck?
Now, Jones resigned from the school just one day after that meeting on November 21st.
No. We not just gonna skip over there, bro. This nigga is sick. Yo, this dude is a true weirdo, and they better not let him resign and get away with this shit. Like, nah, don't think resigning can get away with this shit. Fuck no. Then he had the guts to admit this shit, man. Like, think about how sick this shit is, man. He better be behind bars for real. And I hope whenever he do go, I don't wish jail nobody, but I hope whenever he do go, they handle him the right way. I mean, yeah, do him all types of ways. This shit ain't cool, bro. Ain't nothing cool, bro. There's nothing cool about this shit, man. Real talk.
Part that really is controversial, aside from everything else. This was in November. The Mississippi Department of Education didn't find out about this until the end of January in the Corinth Police Department, and the FBI didn't serve a subpoena and seize all of the evidence, the laptops, the videos, everything, until March 3rd of this year.
What?
So when the FBI finally reviewed the material...
Wait, what took so long, bro? Y'all allowed this man to resign and live free for months up until he got caught? How? There's people out here to do less than that, and they ain't getting away from. They not even getting nowhere near as. They not getting away. How do y'all let this type of shit slide, bro? How does anybody in that meeting not call the cops after he admitted to doing weird shit like that? Honestly, I feel like the whole staff should, like, y'all failing these kids, man. Like, I get these ain't y'all kids, but y'all should still have the moral, y'all should have moral enough to try to protect these kids, man, their innocence. They don't deserve this, bro. These are middle schoolers. These not motherfuckers in college. These is middle schoolers, man. 12-year-olds, 13, like, you feel me? This is sick, bro. And it took them that long, November to March, to do something, including the FBI. Like, bro, this is sick, man.
Identified 8 underage victims. These are kids from the school between 14 and 16 years old. The feds concluded that these were AI-generated videos that used the likenesses of known children from the Corinth School District. And that evidence led to a federal indictment, setting the stage for a dramatic courtroom battle. But now, Wilson Jones has made his choice. So what did he do? He took a plea. Now, this wasn't just a simple guilty plea. Now, the details of this agreement, they are fascinating. They carry huge consequences. To help break all this down, I want to welcome back onto Sidebar special guest, Professor Mary Phan. She's the Jack R. McDonald Endowed Chair at the University of Washington School of Law.
This is crazy.
Expert in criminal law and evidence. Thank you so much for coming back here, Professor Phan.
Pleasure.
So I want to start with this headline. Wilson Jones pleaded guilty to one.
Something tells me that that's a child, bro. Something tells me that that's a student or something. I don't know. It looks like it could be a woman his age, but I don't know. Something tell me that that's not. I don't know. Y'all let me know down in the comments. Y'all think that's a child or his wife or what? But I don't know. Everything about this man gives me creep. Like,
I'm sorry. Possession of child pornography. The indictment had 2 counts. The second was for production. What's the strategic thinking here for both sides? Why agree to plead guilty to one count, not the other?
Sure. It's a very common practice for defendants to get what we call charge bargains. A charge bargain is the prosecutor controls what charges to bring. And as a sweetener to get somebody to plead guilty and spare people a trial, the cost, the expense, and having their images potentially aired to others, the government may agree to dismiss one or more charges and have the defendant plead to one charge, as you see here.
Dismissing a charge.
He's now
none of these charges need to be dismissed. Oh no. Don't let him get off this. No. He need to be hit with all them bitches. All them bitches need to stick. For real. They shouldn't be letting this type of shit slide, bro. At all.
Facing for this single possession count. Again, let's look at the document. So the plea agreement states that he faces, and I'm quoting this directly, maximum possible penalties of not more than 10 years incarceration, not less than 5 years, and not more than life supervised release, not more than a $250,000 fine, an additional assessment of $5,000, a $17,000 possession assessment, restitution as appropriate to the victim or victims, and a mandatory special assessment of $100. Professor.
Wait, huh? Which carries maximum possible penalties of not more than 10 years incarceration. Why the fuck would he not get more than 10 years, bro? This dude just produced child pornography. Produced it. 1. 2, he literally sent it to himself for his pleasure. So why is he not getting more than 10 years, bro? Why? Like, what are they saying? People get caught with a little bit of weed, get 5 to 10 years. You telling me a motherfucker, a teacher, this is, bro, he's supposed to be professional and trustworthy to work with kids. And he did the complete opposite. Produced child pornography with AI. Admitted to it. Y'all have the prompts that he created. You know what I'm saying? Why is he not getting more than 10 years? Why? It should at least be 15, 20 if you ask me. Like, you see what I'm saying? YNW Melly been locked up for how many years? Damn near 10 years. And they have no evidence. Y'all have all the evidence that he committed child. Like, come on, bro. All the evidence is there. Yeah, he gets less than 10 years. Let me know how y'all feel about that sentence down below. I don't think that's right.
Phan, what time do you think he's going to get?
I'd have to know his criminal history. Because what the actual time that people get depends on any prior history that they may have. So we calculate the actual range based on factors like were they on probation and parole as the applicable sentencing guidelines range for the offense. So you often will see very high statutory maximums for an offense that are theoretically possible, but the actual range is going to be based on a recommended guidelines range.
The life supervised release, the requirement that has to register as a sex offender. Let's just go there. The document's very clear. It says the defendant is required to register as a sex offender.
That's a good
registration current in each jurisdiction where the defendant resides, or where the defendant is an employee, and where the defendant is a student pursuant to the Sex Offender Registration and Notification Act.
That's
so
that's good at least.
A sex offender, maybe supervised release. What does that mean for him? What does a life look like there?
Sex offender registration is our modern day life sentence in terms of just the stigma that somebody bears for the rest of their life. It's going to affect not just employment prospects, and certainly employment prospects for someone who used to be a teacher who worked with children, but also the experience of being able to move into an apartment, move into a neighborhood, and join a community. It's going to affect the individual for the rest of their lives.
And then there's the matter of restitution. So the agreement says that he agrees to, quote, make full restitution to all minor victims of his offenses. And it specifically notes that restitution is, quote, not limited to the count of conviction. What is he looking at there?
Other offenses may not be the basis of conviction under the plea agreement, but there could be other harms that are done, and there could be that are not actually within the four corners of the plea agreement, but the defendant's agreeing to address all the harms, not just the ones that are specific to the charge to which he pled guilty.
Now, while I have you here, I want to get into some more of the context of this.
This is crazy to me. I can't believe this.
That led to this plea deal, because we need to rewind to the beginning. The criminal complaint lays it all out. So it starts with this single digital alert. The affidavit states that on November 19, 2024, the school's monitoring system, the BARK app, triggered and again I'm quoting this directly, severe alert tagged as sexual at 1:17 p.m. from Wilson Jones' computer. Now, from your experience...
Bruh, 1:17? He's doing this shit during the school day, bro. That's sick. He's doing this at school, probably.
That feels pretty concrete.
Probably during class.
It'd be very interesting in a trial how a defense attorney would try to argue against something like that. It seems like a key piece of evidence and a direct piece of evidence.
There's always going to be, defense attorneys have to be creative, and there's always going to be potential avenues to challenge, especially automated alerts, because, we know technology makes errors. You may be familiar with other cases where we've used technology, automated technology, to send alerts. For example, a bag of Doritos being mistaken for a gun by a high schooler is an example that he recently hit the headlines. So you can challenge the accuracy behind automated alerts.
And then the school's tech director was able to access Jones' computer, found the source. The affidavit says, Frame stated that Jones sent the content to his personal Google Drive, which triggered the BARK alert. The videos depicted known Corinth students engaging in inappropriate behavior, including kissing and exposing themselves.
What?
The website used to create these images, the one I mentioned before, was listed in the file name at the bottom of the images. As I'm listening to this, and as it's being laid out, Professor, it does make it more understandable why he would have pled guilty here and not taken this to trial. Am I totally off?
All the evidence is there.
Absolutely.
But my thing is, hold on. My thing is, because everybody's appointed like some type of lawyer, but my thing is, what type of lawyer would even want to defend somebody like this? Like, do you know what type of evil ass person you got to be as a lawyer to defend somebody who's doing something as sick as this? Like, how do you even in your heart as a lawyer defend somebody doing heinous shit like this? Because they gotta tell the truth to the lawyers. The lawyers know the truth. That's how they come up with ways and shit to defend their client. But the thing is, how could you even defend somebody when you know they're doing sick shit? You know they're clear as day guilty. Like, how? How do you have it in your heart to defend somebody that you know is guilty of some heinous, sick, like predatory stuff? Like, how? That's my question to the lawyers. Y'all feel like everybody deserves to be appointed a lawyer? You know what I mean? Like, because in certain situations, it's like, bruh, if all the evidence is there that he done did this shit, how could you even want to, you know what I'm saying? How does that make you look too as a lawyer? You defending this shit. Because you have a choice to say yes or no to a client. So for the lawyer who does defend him, like, how do you do it, bro? Like, I don't know. This is just sick to me, man. I don't know. This made me sick to my stomach.
You have images of discernible students that are who are engaging in activity that's clearly prescribed under federal child pornography statutes. I mean, when the evidence is so strong, and you also have the electronic trail that the defendant even used school equipment to transmit
See what I'm
this
saying?
material.
This dude was bold enough to be, one, doing this shit at school, but two, use a school laptop to send it to himself. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Not only is the evidence really strong for proof beyond a reasonable doubt, but it's also really problematic to air before a jury to see the full scope of what he's been doing.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that he apparently admitted that he created the videos using AI, claimed
That
it wasn't
too.
sexual. By the way, generally speaking, this kind of case, when we first covered it, it was groundbreaking. I mean, I hadn't heard of a case like this before, let alone a teacher using AI to create images of the students in these, these situations. It's kind of insane to be thinking about. But the law is going to be changing on this, right? I imagine this is not the first and only case we're going to see. It may get even worse.
Like, what they mean the law is going to be changing? Huh? Hopefully he mean changing for the better. Hopefully that's what he means, because I don't know what he means by that. That's a little questionable to say, but...
Absolutely. The law is changing. For example, Colorado actually had a case where an individual actually morphed images from a couple of fellow students to create a simulation of intimate activity. And the
what the
question was,
fuck?
do the existing laws cover such AI generated material? And bottom line, Colorado law, the Colorado Supreme Court has recently intervened, interpreting new laws to not apply retroactively to conduct that occurred before the new law, but saying in the future such AI-generated content would be a crime.
Is there any way to hold the
Shit,
AI
duh.
companies liable to make sure that their systems are not used to do this?
That's a really interesting question, right?
That is a good question. Should the AI companies be held liable for their AI not only reading the prompt but going through and you know what I mean, creating that? You know what I mean? Should they be? Y'all answer that question down below. Should AI companies be held liable for people who use their platform to make predatory and like child pornography like videos and stuff? Like, do y'all think that they should be held liable to the companies? That's a great question. That is a good question.
Hold companies liable for misuse of their technology. These are major challenges, because think about AI is just another product, a product that can cause harm, like a knife could cause harm, like a car could cause harm. It could also do a lot of beneficial things as well. And so the challenge is with any sort of products liability situation, trying to hold the manufacturer of a product that has many legitimate uses liable for a subset of misuse. I mean, I think the analogy is similar if you're going to try to hold a car maker. And we've seen, by the way, attempts to this. Like, we've seen attempts to hold car makers liable for being easily stealable. And therefore being a ripe target to be stolen, for example. So, I mean, there certainly could be attempts by creative plaintiffs' attorneys, especially in the civil context, for tort liability.
No, that's a good point. Professor, this case, has another major dimension that sparked outrage. It was the actions, or the alleged actions, of then Superintendent Edward Childress. So the indictment against him alleges that after learning of Jones' conduct, he, and I'm quoting from the document here, quote, did conceal the same by permitting Wilson Jones to resign his position as a teacher at the Corinth School District and misrepresenting to the Corinth School Board the reason for Wilson Jones' resignation from his position as a teacher at the Corinth School District, and did not, as soon as possible, make known the same to some judge or other person in civil or military authority under the United States. So,
bruh, the superintendent, no way, bro. The superintendent concealed this dude's identity and the reason he resigned. The superintendent I think the superintendent knew about it and was in on it. And that's why he was bold enough to use the school laptop to then transfer the videos to himself. I think that's why he was so bold. And that's why the superintendent didn't report him. How do you not report this type of behavior, bro? Like, how? And you most likely told that man to resign, and we're going to sweep it under the rug, and no one ever know about it. It's probably what he said, thinking that they was going to be able to get away with this shit before they got caught. You see what I'm saying? Because he tried to leave before, anything happened. He just tried to leave. And then the dude probably, talking for him, oh, he left for this reason, or he left for that reason. Not telling them the real reason that the dude, quote unquote, resigned. You see what I'm saying? This shit's sick, bro. Like, they was in on it, bro, together. This is crazy.
He's basically been indicted on hindering prosecution.
I'm glad.
What do you make of that charge? What do you make of that allegation? And what would prosecutors need to prove that this delay wasn't poor judgment or trying to get more facts, but this was a crime?
Yeah, so, this is an individual who held a position of trust, had special duties because of that position of trust, and according to the allegations, at least, affirmatively took steps like misrepresentation to conceal harm that was done to students to whom he's entrusted as a fiduciary. So I think there's some really compelling elements to this charge. In American law, we usually don't hold people responsible for omissions to act. We usually punish commission. However, one of the exceptions is when somebody is in in a position of trust, and then we have here not just omission.
Bruh, all these women, man, this shit is so like. I can't understand this shit, man. All these women he's sitting here next to, bro, and it's kids that you want to go after, bro. All these women, all of them, adult men of age. Literally, all these women he's standing next to, at least 10 of them, bro. But you want to go after a child, innocent child, man. This shit is so sick to me.
Also, some affirmative commissions to conceal the tracks of the offense.
That's a really good point, because unfortunately I cover a number of stories of child abuse, all different kinds, in schools, or educators, instructors, things of that nature. You can't automatically arrest the principal or the superintendent because they didn't follow it, they didn't notice it, they didn't report it. It has to be something blatant. It has to be something. So if the allegation is that he misrepresented what was going on, that's what makes it rise to a different level here. And I do wonder, if you have Jones pleading guilty, how does that affect Childress's case?
Well, you have some elements established, right? Potentially by the guilty plea, you have elements established that this material meets the definition of child pornography under federal law, for example. And so certainly, and you have the establishment that there was a crime to be covered up. And so that helps facilitate prosecution there for covering up such a crime. You already established that there was a crime.
I have a question for you. I don't know if it's a legal question or how it happens, but I have to get your opinion on this. So in a final shocking, let's call it postscript to this story, we learn that after resigning, Wilson Jones, the guy who just pled guilty, Wilson Jones, managed to get another job working with the state's most vulnerable children. From our previous reporting, we learned that Jones was
Bro, what the fuck? I told y'all, bro, they getting jobs as teachers And as daycare just shit around kids, bro, because not because they care for kids and they have they want to teach these kids so they can prey on the kids, bro. Protect your children, man, for real. They are really doing this shit right in front of our eyes. We're seeing it. So many people being arrested and caught for preying on children, and they're supposed to be teachers, daycare workers, people who are supposed to be trusted and trustworthy people to be left around children, bro. Yet it's not that. Yet they using that as a disguise to prey on children, bro. Protect your kids, man.
Mississippi Department of Child Protection Services as a social service specialist. And in his application, he reportedly asked the agency not to contact his former employer at the Corinth School District. How is this possible, Professor?
How the fuck is this possible?
I have to look at the entire employment form, but I would wonder. One of my first questions, and any prosecutor's first question, might be: did he affirmatively misrepresent conduct? A lot of times, some of these employment forms, where you're in a sensitive position of trust with vulnerable individuals, will ask if you've ever committed certain kinds of wrongdoing. And so one of the first things I want to see is if there's such a question to that effect, if there was any affirmative misrepresentation. This would be a misrepresentation on a form to a government agency, which can carry its own criminal consequences. But it is remarkable that he was able to secure such a job.
That's crazy. Dude resigned from his teaching job once he got caught, admitted to what he did to the whole school staff board, right? Then resigned, and then went to get a job as a social worker for children, the most vulnerable children in the state. And then on the application told them to not contact his former employee. Did that not ring any bells to anybody? If somebody specifically told me don't contact their former job, that would be a red flag to me. You see what I'm saying? But they just letting him go right past. This shit is sick, bro.
Jones was facing a lot here. Not only the federal charges, he was indicted on 3 counts of depicting child engaging in sexual conduct at the state level. And as we mentioned, he's now going to be having his formal sentencing on March 2nd, 2026, where a judge will decide what that fate should be. It does make me wonder if the judge is going to make a statement with this, if the judge is going to go on the higher end to say not only is this deplorable and unacceptable, but maybe to deter others who would use such technology to do this, because it feels, I hate to say it, it feels like you can use this technology pretty easily to create this kind of content.
Man,
that's right. I mean, there are guardrails potential on this technology, but they are circumventable by tech savvy people. And so, sentencing is supposed to be individual. It's individual to the person before the court. It's going to be based on their admission, their owning up of responsibility, their attempts to repair the harm, their prior history, etc. But certainly, another factor is what we call general deterrence, which is what is the message, deterrent message to the community as well. And so that could be a relevant factor, the idea that we want to send a message that this is not just playing around with AI, that this has potentially serious harms, and we want to recognize the fullness of the harms too, in this case, real students who are impacted.
Well,
man, I feel sorry for these kids, man. For real, bro. Like, this shit is sick, bro. Like, they don't deserve this shit. They innocent as hell. They probably would have never thought this would happen, bro. In that district school attendants, they failed to protect them. So it's a great thing that they arrested the dude as well for trying to sweep shit up under the rug. Because you just as bad as him. You know what I'm saying? To try to turn a blind eye to somebody doing that shit to kids, bro. You deserve it.
We will see.
You deserve them bars.
We will see what happens with Childress's case as well. Professor Mary Fan, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. And as always,
Damn, man, that shit crazy, y'all. That shit crazy, man. Protect your kids out here for real, man. You don't know who you sending them with when they go to school. You don't know what these teachers is really, what their real motives are for teaching. If it's daycare, you don't know what these daycare people motives are for getting these jobs with these kids, man. You really don't know. You know what I mean? So really protect your children, bro. That's what I got to say for today. Really protect your kids, man. Teach them to contact trusted adults. Even if it's you, contact you no matter what going on. Anytime they feel uncomfortable and safe, contact an adult, a trusted adult that's going to do something about it and make sure that they remain safe, man. Because each day it's people out here who really trying to get away with this shit. And sometimes it be right in your face. You never know. So really protect your kids out here, man. You don't trust these teachers, these coaches. None of them, bro. Don't fully trust none of them. Yeah, you got some that are truly good and genuine, but don't get to the point where you just trust them just because of their job title. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Keep your eyes open. Really watch over your kids, man. So your kid don't have to be a victim of this sick ass shit, man. For real. But shit, other than that, y'all, that's gonna conclude this video. Y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know how y'all felt about this video down in the comments below. Let me know if y'all feel like the cops did the right thing. And I don't know what to say. This shit crazy. Let me know how y'all felt about the video, man. And if y'all got anything else y'all like for me to react to, please drop it in the comments down below. Any games y'all love to see me play, please drop it in the comments down below. And yeah, man, that's gonna conclude this video. And yeah, man, I'm out. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.